The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. And wherever we are, God is. And so be it. Amen. Call me on the headphones.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, sing.
Yeah, can't have dead air. We've got to have some.
Hello?
There he is.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Can you hear me good? So Helios will be happy.
Yeah, you sound great.
Yeah.
You sound great. Loud and clear.
Alfie is with us today playing his favorite song, Loving You is a Dirty Job. And with that, I want to thank Ashario, my friend, for her excellent review on Amazon. Thank you, Ashario. We're going to have another great fun-filled day with bad typing, inappropriate jokes, and ADD all around. I know Shawn and I are quite ADD. I think Siriliel maybe a little bit, and Andrea is the focused one on the website.
Oh, yeah, she's got a memory like an elephant.
I fade in and out.
And a body to match.
That's right.
Say that. Okay, well, let me tell you this much. This is the third show, Allfaaraa Live on the Science of the Soul, Part 3. Am I correct?
Yes.
You're correct.
Okay,
You are on the correct show.
I can tell you now, there is going to be a Part 4.
What? Yes. It's like Rocky or what?
Yes. A Part 4, okay? When I went through it today, and there was so much, okay? And just recapping some of the stuff from last week, okay? Where did Adam come from, Ashara?
Adam came from the dust. Came from Lucifer.
Thank you, Siriliel, with a little help.
Well,
Sorry, you know what? I wanted to stop it, but it went through my mouth. I wanted to stop the words, but it went through.
Right. Well, that probably helped her. She was going dust and going a little stuck. Well, yeah, it came out of the dust planet, which is out of the planet, which is out of Lucifer. We also know, I briefly talked about it, that there were 72 total nations. Israel was one of them, and there were 71 others of them, okay? And each of them had a god, lord, or archangel, okay? And out of each of them would come a block, okay? Right? And the Creator talks about it all through the Bible. You know, if you're bad, no block will come out of you. He tells Babylon and Lucifer as Nebuchadnezzar, no block will come out of you to go into the wall, which is into the kingdom, okay? Each major god had minor gods serving them, okay? And the bodies were those they could get, okay? For example, if it was God of Assyria, they had the Assyrians. God of the Persians had the Persians, okay? God of the Egyptians, Amun-Ra, had the Egyptians. Okay, those were their bodies, okay? But there are a lot of great things. I mean, seriously, people, to really understand this, you're going to have to read all the shows. And I want to talk a little bit about the Bible. Some people like it. A lot of people don't like it, okay? However, here's what you have to understand about it, okay? There is no religion in the Bible, people, okay? Believe me, as many times as I read it and study it and still go back to it, and I learn something every time, there is no religion in the Bible. It doesn't talk about religion, doesn't talk about Judaism, and it doesn't talk about Christianity. It's the religions that try to pull out little things and make them religious. Doesn't talk about anything about kneeling. Doesn't talk about anything about doing this or doing that or eating the wafer or drinking the wine, okay? There is no religion in the Bible, okay? Bible is written through man by angels and archangels, okay? And it's the only book of its kind. What it is, it's the story of a battle for a kingdom, our kingdom. Okay, but more than that, it is the spiritual history of our race. From Adam to Christ and the new creation, which is the new soul that most people are fragmented from now. It is a story of Michael, the archangels, and the 144,000 angels that were Israel. This is what it is. There is no other book written in this universe or anything else that actually lays down the spiritual history of humanity and of the spirit, okay, from God's point of view. All the surrounding works. As a matter of fact, I need to find something that I'm going to need in a little bit. Where is it? There it is. I'm going to need the other Bible for the end of the show. All of the other works that kind of fit, okay? The Nag Hammadi, the Gnostic Gospels, okay? They're all support books. But even in all those books together, okay, you cannot find the spiritual history from beginning to end. Now, a lot of religious people want to use the Bible as a history book. Yeah, but they're looking at the wrong kind of history. They're trying to match the Bible to archaeological and historical times, okay? And it fits pretty good. But it's the spiritual history. And remember, okay, here is what you people have to understand. And this is why, okay, and a lot of people may think, say, oh, Alf thinks he's so self-centered. If it's somebody else talking about the Bible, they're wrong. They usually are, okay? And let me tell you why they are, okay? The Bible is written on 4 levels, okay? The simple, homiletical, metaphorical, and mystical spiritual. The majority of humanity, okay, read the Bible at the simple level. The so-called scholars, and they're not really biblical scholars, people, understand you have the Christian religious scholars and the Jewish religious scholars. They read at the homiletical level, okay? But to understand the Bible, okay, the 3rd and 4th level, the metaphorical and the spiritual, you have to understand the 3rd level, which is the metaphorical level of the Bible. The entire Old Testament is, the whole thing is parable, and the whole thing is metaphor, okay? To be able to understand the 4th level, which is the mystical and the spiritual, you have to know the metaphors, okay? So it doesn't matter how smart you are, and how much of a linguist you are, and how much of a scholar that you are, level 3, until you understand the metaphors, you can't understand the mystical spiritual level. Do you understand? Okay? And the metaphors only come from God, from the Spirit. You can't think them. Your ego will go crazy trying to figure them out. Any pre-subjective thoughts, any pre-bias goes into it. Okay? Christian can't come up with metaphors because the metaphors all become Christian-based. Okay? Just like last week we were talking about Abraham, the stars in the sky and the sand on the sea. John Hagee, who at least got the point, the Christian pastor, who at least got the point that, wow, Abraham is the stars and the sand, but he made the stars the Christians, right? I mean, the Christians are 5,000 years coming. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so your own bias does you in. So it doesn't matter how smart you are. The smarter you are, the worse off you are. Because what makes you smart, Ashara?
How much understanding, how much light you have in your body.
No, it doesn't. The amount of light. Wow. That's almost going to beat. What's the light body made of, Siriliel? I think
I'm going to refresh my browser.
think we have a new number 1. What makes you smart, Ashara? Oh, how much light I have in my body. Really?
Yeah, but you said what gives you understanding.
Yeah.
I did not say that at all. Play the tape back. Makes you smart, Ashara. It certainly isn't the amount of light in your body. It is the ego that you think through.
Ego, yes. Your
right?
intelligence is
So
your
really
mind.
now off the hook. We no longer will be making light body jokes. We'll be making smart jokes. Makes you smart, Ashara.
Good
Why
ego.
how many smart pills you take?
Yes.
Ego.
Ego does. Okay? Right? So the smarter, more scholarly you are, okay, the less God that's in you, the more ego. you're thinking through which mind? The top mind, not the mind of God.
That's right.
Most scientists and real smart people are atheists. Most of them are they not? There's no God, can't be, right? Okay, let's go forward. So the Bible is the spiritual history book. Okay, I want answers from everybody and from you in the chat room, okay? How many of you think that God is a she or feminine? Excuse me. Wait, I was almost going to make a question. See, instant karma just got me. I was making fun of Allfaaraa, and here I was about to say the stupidest thing in the world. But I caught myself before it slipped out, okay? How many of you feel that the planet Earth is feminine, and how many of you feel that's masculine, or how many of you don't know? Okay, I want everybody in the chat room, type it in the chat room, I want an answer. How many of you feel that the Earth is feminine? Okay. How many of you feel that it's masculine? Or how many just don't know? Okay. Right? Now let's start with you, Siriliel. Do you feel the Earth is feminine, masculine? I know what New Age teaches, right? Oh, it's feminine. Do you feel it's feminine, masculine, or you don't know?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Clark, you can't answer, okay, because I already gave it to you the other day. And Allfaaraa, I kind of already gave it to you. But beforehand, what did you feel the Earth was before you knew the truth? What did you feel it was? Masculine, feminine, didn't know, or they're just talking shit?
I have a statue of Mother Earth sitting right on my desk in front of me who's pregnant, so I think she's a woman.
You've always thought she was a woman. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a bias in that, or how did you arrive at that? Or is it bias because you're a woman and let's make her Mother Earth? How have you arrived at that? New Age, or what teaches you she's a woman?
Well, New Age certainly confirmed it and called her Gaia, but before that, before that maybe I didn't know, but I've always heard her referred to as Mother Earth, so it just
right.
kind
You're so influenced by New Age and Gaia and all that crap, right?
Yeah.
What about you, Clarky? Before I told you what I told you, what did you? Not that words make any difference to you. Oh, wait a minute! I saw it on Facebook today. Okay, what did you think, or did you even think, or do you think everybody was crazy, or what?
Been said for the Mother Earth thing, and for years it's always been certainly not masculine.
We've all heard it, but where does the credibility come from? Right? Who said it? Who started it? Why is it feminine? Did it come from God? Okay, what about the chat room? What are they saying? Hopefully they all answered. They didn't start yelling at them.
They all say feminine.
Yeah.
They all say feminine.
Daniela said no sex at all.
Well, who said?
Daniela said no. No
Daniela.
sex. Yeah.
Daniela.
Daniela, sorry.
The line came from Judah, woman. Look through the Bible. Look through the genealogy in Matthew. Right? It came from Judah. Right? And then trace it all the way down. The line is on the masculine side, from firstborn to firstborn to firstborn to firstborn. You and I will have a little Bible class, maybe when I get to Australia. No, maybe before then. But the line came from Judah. The line is firstborn to firstborn to firstborn. The entire Christ line is all firstborns. So, Dee, look in the book, and we'll talk about it later. Okay? Okay. So, what did Daniela say again?
She just said it's neither. It's no orientation, no sex.
Okay. So those that said it was feminine, okay, here's what I say to them. Says who? What is your answer? Who says?
The butter commercial from a long time ago.
What about Mrs. Butterworth's?
A Mrs. Butterworth commercial?
No, there was a butter commercial that don't fool Mother Nature or something like that.
Well, Mother Nature, okay, that's not Mother Earth, okay? We've all heard the Mother Nature thing. But come on, I mean, was it really in a New Age book or just accepted? You talk about people talking about the Bible, and here you guys are all believing that Earth Mother and all this. Tell me where it came from.
Well, Sherrill says because it gives nourishment like a woman's body.
Okay, so that's how she decided it's a woman, because the Earth Mother because the Earth gives you nourishment. Okay, actually, what the Bible says is your mother gives you birth, and your father gives you life. Okay. They say it twice in the Bible, once in Job and once in Isaiah. But they're mistranslating life as spirit once again. So in reality, okay, your mother gives you birth, but your father gives you your spirit, which is exactly spiritually true. But again, the KJV translators used, and so did the Hebrew translator, used the word life, okay? Okay? So your spirit And life comes from the father, but your birth comes from the mother. So I like Ashariel's answer. Who else? Come on. Anybody else have any substantial thing? I read it in a book. I heard it. Anybody?
Well, Shariel also pointed out that it said in that verse from last week we talked about that the mother was earth and the father was the sun, and they bowed to the stars, etc.
Okay. So. No, that's the sun and the moon, not the sun and the
mother
earth.
Mother was the moon, yeah.
The moon.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Okay, is Ashariel, my friend, the only one in the chat room, by the way?
No. There's a bunch of, but they're.
Okay. She's the only one that's participating.
I mean, Alana said the same thing I would say, is that Mother Nature and Mother Earth to me are the same thing. I mean, that's why we associate them together.
Dude, we can't even use you. Words have no meaning. Come on, dude. After that Facebook comment. Okay, well, let me give you the truth, okay? And this blew me away, okay? And you can say this to anybody. You can say this to the Pope, okay? And, the Catholics, it's got to be the father. I mean, everything is masculine, 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 right? You could tell the Pope and teach the Pope the Bible with what I'm going to show you, right? You could teach any Hebrew rabbi the Bible with what I'm going to show you, because everybody's missed it as long as this thing's been around since it was written. And they say, by the way, that the original writer of the book of Genesis is Moses. I disagree, okay? But I don't know the answer because I've never asked, but I just don't think Moses was the one. Okay, but that's who the Jewish people get the credit to. Okay? Well, I'm going to tell you what God says. And I would have never found this if it wasn't for my dear friend Deanna. And I am not being sarcastic. Okay? I am not being sarcastic. I'm serious. Okay? When she challenged me to go to her interlinear that she put up there, okay, and I said, I know I don't need to do it, because I know anything written by man about the Bible, okay, unless they can read the third or fourth level, is a joke. When I listen to pastors tell me, oh, I know the Bible, I'm a pastor. Oh, yeah? Tell me about this. There's one person, I don't know everybody in the world, okay, but there's one person that I've ever seen who lives up here in Eagle's Nest, and he's kind of like, he's not a pastor, but he teaches the Bible, okay, and he's Christian, but he thinks himself is a new Hebrew. Okay, he's one of the chosen ones. They said, you're not one of the 144. Trust me, because I don't know you. I didn't really tell him that, okay? But I asked him questions, hard questions, and he got the answers. For example, why aren't the heathens or the Christians saved by works? Why must the Christians, the heathens that would be Christians, be saved by faith, okay, and not works? And he goes, well, because they didn't have any. I said, exactly. My God, you're the first Christian that's ever got that. They didn't have any works. They didn't carry the Spirit. They didn't do the work. They didn't do the labor. He says, well, yeah. I said, yeah, but any Christian you talk to, well, we're saved by faith because we need to believe in Jesus. Well, yeah, but that's not the answer. I said, exactly. My God. So it's the one guy that I've ever seen get anything, okay? And believe me, whenever I see a Christian or a pastor, I question them on the Bible. Okay, so here it is, okay? So Deanna told me to take the challenge. So I went to her interlinear translation, and it was a joke. Okay? I mean, it really was. It's like these people couldn't read Hebrew, okay, because the transliteration from the Hebrew to the English, they would misspell all the words, which means they didn't know the letters. They would leave out the O's and they would leave out the U's, okay? And that's how she ended up with from them, okay, mimeno, instead of from us, mimenu, okay, because these people, I'm seriously, it was a joke. And in one verse, they translated, she was, okay, and that is the word in Hebrew, haita, she was. But you never say that, okay? There's was, okay. Now, the way Hebrew speaks, okay, they're gender specific, okay? For example, if you want to say he was, you would say who is the word for he in Hebrew. Hu haya, he was. If you wanted to say she was, you would say he haita. She is he haita. She was. Okay? But without the who or the he on the beginning, you don't translate the was. Whether was is haya or haita, they're both was. One's a masculine gender, one's a feminine gender. You do not translate, okay, the word is she was or he was, unless you have the preposition in front of it. The who, which is he, or the he, which is she. Sounds kind of funny, huh? He is she and who is he? Who's on first? But that's Hebrew. Do you understand what I'm saying? Hu haya, he was. he, haita, she was. Okay, but these idiots translated haita as she was. And I said, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And that's when I basically threw the book. Actually, it wasn't a book. I closed the website, threw the website off the screen. A day later, it's really hitting on me. I said, wait a minute. How dumb are these translators on this thing Deanna sent to me? But wait a minute. The word is haita. Even though you don't pronounce it, you don't say she was, okay, haita is the feminine. Well, but in that particular verse, there's no feminine, there's no woman in there. Holy shit. Wait a minute. And I'm driving to Angel Fire, and I get most of my stuff. I get my downloads in the car, as you know, right? That's where I get my most stuff, because Alfie's distracted having to drive, okay? Right? It's like watching TV, people. When you watch TV and the ego's into it, okay, you know, that's when the stuff comes in that you really got to write that stuff down. So Alfie's distracted, and I get my most stuff when Alfie's distracted, driving. So I'm coming back from Angel Fire, okay, it's about a 15-minute trip, and it's, holy crap, wait a minute, I got to get back and look at the Bible. I know what the verse says, but I can't believe what I'm about to see. I can't believe what I'm about to hear, okay? So I run home, open up my old 1907 JPS, okay, Hebrew, and I'm reading it, and I said, yes, thank you, Deanna. Let me tell you what it, and I don't know if anybody's even seen this. It's especially if you are a Hebrew scholar or you read Hebrew. Was is was. Okay, again, haita or haya, you still say was. You don't say she was or he was unless you have the preposition article in front of it, he or she, right? So you still say was, even if it's the feminine was, okay? But that feminine was is modifying a subject, right? Let me read you what it says, okay? And I'm still in shock about it. I really am, okay, because I couldn't believe it. Here's what God says the earth is, boys and girls, angels and demons, okay? Let me read you the first line. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim v'et haaretz. In the beginning, God created the heavens, is actually sky, and earth, okay? Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim v'et haaretz, okay? Now here we go. Now, haaretz, okay, means like the land or the soil or the planet itself, okay? Right? It can be either one. Okay? Check it out. The haaretz, the earth, the planet. Haita, there's that word. Tohu v'bohu. V'hoshek al panei. Okay, ba. The haaretz, haita, tohu v'bohu. And the earth was unformed and void. Okay, haita, right, is the second word. V'ha'aretz haita, and the earth was dark and void. Okay, unformed and void. Okay, the second word is haita. Which word is it describing, Ashara?
The earth.
Ha'aretz. The earth is feminine in God's words. V'ha'aretz haita. Haita is feminine was. But of course, it's translated as the earth was, okay? Unformed and void. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. But it's written in the feminine, meaning dark can be feminine, can it? Ashara?
No. I don't think so.
Void can't be feminine, can it?
Nope.
Okay. Ha'aretz haita. Okay. It is saying the earth is feminine. Okay. Ha'aretz haita. That's what it's describing. So God is saying, okay, the earth is feminine, okay? And there you have it firsthand, okay? And I have read Genesis 1, I don't know, 1,000 times, okay? And I just read right over it. Haita is the feminine. And the only subject in there that's feminine is the earth. Ha'aretz haita tohu v'bohu. Okay? The earth is feminine. Okay? And you could tell that to any rabbi. And when they argue with you, tell that to any priest. Tell it to the Pope. Oh, yeah? Let's go to Genesis 1, buddy. Verse 2. Ha'aretz haita. And I would have never, ever seen it Of course, I knew the earth was feminine. The earth mother, it's the womb, right? We talked about that in 1. But I would have never seen it had those dummies, thank you dummies, see how things work, Indiana's little interlinear mistranslated. Okay? For you to translate it as she was, it would have to be haaretz, he, haita. Okay? It doesn't say that. Okay? It just says haaretz, haita. Okay? And they translated she was. And it got me thinking, and I looked at it. Yes, the earth is feminine. Okay, is everybody clear on that?
Yes.
That's pretty wow, isn't it, Ashara?
Yes, that's really cool.
Very wow. So girls, take a bow. You are the earth. Let's get on with the good and heavy stuff, and there's going to be a whole lot of it. Okay? I'm going to have to read you a whole lot of the Bible, but it's going to be fun. Okay. So understand this, that there are 72 nations, okay, or 72 different gods that make up God, okay? I say make up the name of God, name is spirit, okay? God is, on the earth, the creator God, 72 nations. There's 71 other gods, plus, this is at this time, plus Israel, or YHVH, okay? Now, YHVH is the logos, the icon, express image, okay? A direct copy of the Father, okay? And that is who Michael is, okay? And YHVH means to become, okay? Because he is not yet. He's still Archangel Michael, okay? Okay. So let's go into and talk a little about the 72 nations, okay? When did they come into being? Okay, well, they came into being, okay, when God confused everything. You go back into Genesis at the Tower of Babel. Okay, now the whole world had one language and a common speech, blah, 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 blah. And they said, this is funny, come on, let's make blocks, bricks, and bake them thoroughly. They used brick instead of stone, blah, 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 blah. Okay, to build a tower which will reach up to the heavens. Okay, we all know what the block is, do we not, Ashara?
Yes.
Okay, so we may make a name for ourselves. Again, name is used as a metaphor for spirit. So we may make a spirit for ourselves and not be scattered over the face of the earth. But the Lord came down to see the city, and then he scattered everybody. Okay, this is when he did it. Let's go to Deuteronomy 32:8. Okay, Deuteronomy 32:8. And I love this whole passage, so I can only find it. There we are, Deut 32. Okay, and here it is. Okay, you ready? When the Most High, and who is the Most High? What is the Most High? Who's smart enough? Most High's name in Hebrew? 3 gods, right? 1, 2, 3. Who can remember the Most High's name in Hebrew? El
Shaddai. El Elyon. Right?
Elyon? El Shaddai?
Shaddai.
By the way, Mr. Siriliel, you were a great servant of El Shaddai, okay? And his symbol was the open hand, okay? A lot of people in Israel, okay, Kabbalists wear a picture of the open hand. It's a necklace, right? El Shaddai. His sign was the open hand. El Elyon, Most High, El Shaddai, God Almighty, and YHVH, the God who will be, okay? So the big gun was El Elyon, okay, right? You got it, Father, Son, and Spirit, okay? And here's what he says. When the Most High gave the nations their inheritance, this is as to the bodies, right? When he divided all mankind, and when did he divide all mankind? Ashara?
When...
Got it right. Tower of Babel.
Yep.
Babel means confused, or confusion. Babel, okay? That's when he did it, okay? When he divided all mankind, he set up boundaries for the peoples according to the number of the sons of Israel, and the alternate translation is sons of God, okay? Israel are the sons of God, 144,000 of them, okay? Right? Michael is Israel. Michael is how many archangels, Siriliel?
12 archangels.
Yes, sir. How many angels, Shawn?
71? 72?
100.
How many angels?
Oh, 144,000, that's right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How many firstborn spirits, Ashara?
Firstborn. Yes, I know.
144,000. Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's do it again. When the Most High gave the nations their inheritance, when he divided all mankind, he set up boundaries. According to the number of the sons of Israel, Israel is Jacob, there were 72 sons. Now, in one it says 70, in another place in the Bible it says 75. But the actual number is 72. okay? It has to be a division of 12 because there were 12 tribes, 12 archangels. It can't be 75 and it can't be 70. It is 72. But the Bible shows it as 70 sons. There were 72 because you have to count the 2 born to Joseph. Remember, what did Jacob say? Who's been paying attention? What did Jacob say to Joseph when he gave Joseph's 2 sons the blessing? What did he say? I will count them as what, Ashara? This is last show, people.
Yep, I have the notes.
The 13th archangel. Who in the chat room knows? Joseph, Michael, Israel, same thing. Or, excuse me, Jacob, Michael, Israel, same thing. He says to his son Joseph, when he's going to bless Manasseh, what in the hell am I going to do, right? That's what that means. What will I do? And Ephraim. He blesses him and says, I will take them as mine, didn't he?
Oh, that's right.
That's my home.
I'll take them as my own. There be the other 2, okay? Right? That's how we come to 72, the sons of God. Okay? He set up boundaries to peoples according to the number of the sons of Israel. That's Jacob. For the Lord, YHVH's portion is his people. Israel, his allotted inheritance. Okay? He chose the Hebrews. Why not? We've been working on creating the bodies for quite a long time, haven't we, Ashara?
Yes, we have.
They spent an entire cycle of 9 or 430 years in Egypt, did they not?
Yes, in the furnace.
Iron smelting furnace, as he talks about, refining low-grade ore or spirit, okay? So the Hebrews, okay, were physically descendants from Abraham, were they not? Through Shem, okay? And they threw him into the fire to see if they could do, okay, what they were supposed to do. Let's let them carry the spirit of Lucifer first, okay? What each generation, what happens to the body, Shawn?
It gets improved.
Right. It becomes every. What's the difference between a 22 and a 9?
Carries more light.
More light. Okay. So again, you modify you evolve you by bringing spirit presence into being. Okay. Each incarnation, okay, will be better than the next one, right, Ashara? Because you are filling yourself with light and darkness, okay, and making the body bigger than it started out. So that's why I know more than you, and Siriliel knows more than this one, and Ashara knows more than that one, and Ashariel knows more than all of us. Aren't I being nice to you today, Ashariel? I'm sorry. You still love me? Okay. See, I've been even actually doing these notes so I don't ADD out, so I stay on course, okay? Normally I just wing it. I like to wing it better because whatever comes in, comes in. But it's at God's determination, okay? He uses me as a channel. That's all over the place. With my notes, I can focus. Hope you can hear me puffing this darn cigarette. Okay, faster. You said yes? Slap.
I didn't hear anything. Are you talking?
Nope, didn't.
When we did the Lisa, very first Lisa interview, and we were in the trailer up at the RV park in the snow, and Lee and Fee, when we first met them, said, I swear I heard a lighter go click during the thing. He's a smoker, they said. Just like that. Okay?
That was very clear in the third interview.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyways, okay, so we understand the 72 gods. Now understand this. Okay, let's take YHVH out, and there's 71. Okay? You are talking 71 lords, okay? Lord Orion, Lord Arcturus, Lord Sirius, okay? An archangel, and you can see that, don't just believe me, I'll give you references where you can back it up in writing, in the book God's Hand. An archangel is also known in Hebrew as a mazal, okay? Mazal also refers to a constellation. Oh, there's Franz Fanon. It just flipped off of my computer, cognitive dissonance, okay? An archangel is also known in Hebrew as a mazal. And a mazal, okay, is a constellation. But in Hebrew, it means fortune or good luck, okay? Mazal tov, good luck to you.
Mazal tov.
Mazel tov, right. If you want to be Jewish, say Mazel tov. That's how the Jewish people say it. But in Hebrew, Yallah, that's Arabic, right? Let's go, faster, faster. Hamshik, hamshik. Okay, however, to get away from the Arabic and stuff, so you start me going with my Arabic curse words. Siriliel knows them too. One day, Siriliel and I on SMS cursed each other out in Arabic, back and forth. And
that was so funny.
That was so funny, right?
Shahmuta, baby, shahmut.
I have to tell you that the Arabic curse words are some of the funniest things in the world, what they say to each other. Oh my God, you would die, you know, right? You would die, right? They're so fun. So anyways, okay, let's keep going forward. We got so much to cover, okay, and I got to finish the show. Okay, so 72 gods, understand, we're talking 72 constellations, okay? An archangel, oversoul, okay, is a constellation, okay, composed of gods or angels or spirits. You understand that, right? 72 constellations exist under the firmament. Does that give you some kind of idea of how big that wall is out there, Allfaaraa?
Whoa, yes.
They didn't exist outside the firmament. They were all underneath, okay? All included. Okay, so we understand how big this is. Okay, now let's go to the entrust factor, okay? This is very important. Remember, when we get into the New Testament, okay, the word that's entrust is mistranslated, and they put belief in there. Okay, where Jesus says, if you believe on me, you will have eternal life. It's not what he says. He says, when he goes around to the firstborns, the lost sheep of Israel, if you entrust to me, okay, you will have eternal life. And we've talked about this before. Give up all your works. Now, he only went to the firstborns. Why the firstborns? Because it was their works. Everybody else just carried it and passed it along. All the souls did, okay? So we understand the entrust factor. Back in episode 1, okay, right, Allfaaraa? I talked about how the Nephilim would come to you, and what could you do to them? What kind of deal could you make?
You could trade your spirit for theirs.
Right. And how
give them your works. And they would give you less, but the quality of their spirit was better.
Exactly. Okay, and this is how it worked. So that actually started the entrust factor way back billions of years ago. Okay? Okay, now understand this either. No God could take your spirit, but you could entrust it. Okay? Right? Now, they could kill you and let it come out and reclaim it. Okay? Right? But usually the only one who got away with that was Michael. Okay? And again, okay, it was easier to ask those of Israel to entrust it and carry yours than to start killing the bodies. Okay? Again, as we talked about in the walk-in syndrome, okay, and what started in the 50s, okay, when we first came back with a walk-in program, okay, what was most important were the damn bodies. Okay, we should just let them die. But again, it takes from 13 to 20 years, somewhere between there, for the soul to start bringing light to the ego's darkness. Children are innocent. They don't begin to somewhere between 13 and 18. It varies with everybody, okay? But for the soul to start bringing light to the darkness, it's somewhere in that area, okay? And this is the reason when you have a good body, okay, and something happens to it with sickness, disease, illness, okay, or too much darkness that will cause a walkout, why just let it die like we used to, okay? You're talking 20 years, 15 to 20 years, for that body to begin producing again, correct, Allfaaraa?
Yeah.
I don't want to call you Allfaaraa again. One's taller than the other. One's 5'8", one's 5'3", maybe. Okay. So, okay, no God could take your spirit, but you could entrust it. You had to willingly agree, okay, right? So the gods of the nations, okay, constantly solicited Israel, offering a better deal, okay? And as we were unveiled, all the angels of Israel, again, there was no real ego at that time. Lucifer's spirit was what of the body? Siriliel. What was it? Did it go in the heart? No, it went in the mind. What was it? What did the spirit of Lucifer, of God through Lucifer in you act as?
As the ego.
Right. Well, basically, we didn't call it an ego then, but yeah, you were the full consciousness of the body.
Yes.
Correct, Allfaaraa?
Yes.
Would you say Siriliel was right?
Yeah. It acted as the ego and the consciousness. Yeah.
Right. So you better say it a little nicer than, yeah. Was Siriliel...
Yeah. That was a thoughtful... I mean, a hard...
What was that?
Yeah, he was correct.
Yes.
Words, they're meaningless. Oh, we're going to get to somebody who really thinks it's meaningless. The whole damn thing's millennia. I really think maybe Shawn is older than he actually thinks he is or says he is. I think something's fishy. Because I'm telling you what, I found Clarkey today in Ecclesiastes, and he's saying the whole damn thing is meaningless. The words are meaningless. God is meaningless. It's all meaningless. I said, my God, Clarkey, you go back that far? Holy crap.
It's good. It's good
It sounded
sometimes.
just like you, Shawn, I'm telling you. Clarky may be older than he's letting on to be. Okay.
Good.
So the nations were always soliciting Israel and offered, or the Hebrews, offered them a better deal. And as we were unveiled, we knew the deal. Okay, remember this. The majority of Israel were souls, not spirits, right? How many spirits or angels were there involved in Israel, Shawn?
In Israel?
Yeah.
144,000.
How many spirits? How many angels? How many souls? The number's the same. You just said it a while ago.
144,000.
44,000. 144,000. 12,000 from each tribe. Each archangel fragmented 12,000. Okay? So you had 144,000 firstborns, which means you had 144,000 firstborn lines. Understand, spirits make souls. Souls cannot be made without spirits or firstborns. Okay? So you had 144,000 firstborns called Nefesh Hayah, or living souls. Okay? Living souls is a spirit. Okay? Adam was a living soul. Okay? Right? Christ became a life-giving spirit. Okay? So you had 144,000 firstborn spirits, and you had 1 million, I'm estimating the population, I can only go by what the Bible says, but you had about 1 million of the total population. But only 144,000 of those were spirits, right, Ashara?
That's right. They're souls.
So what were all the rest of them?
They must have been of Lucifer.
Wrong answer.
No.
Fragments.
It's 144,000. Yes, Mr. Clarky.
Oh.
You're on it today. 144,000 borns, okay? I didn't tell you what you're on. You might have been sitting on mine.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So only 144,000 were Nefesh Hayah, living souls. Okay? The rest were souls. So you had about 850,000 storehouses. And we used to use the sheep and the cows, didn't we? Right? Bodies were the keys in the past, if I have taught you. Better bodies, okay, grow more spirit, okay? Why did they feed them in the 40 years in the desert after coming out of Egypt, Ashara? Why did they feed them manna?
To raise their vibration enough so that they could hold YHVHs.
Right, to allow them to carry that spirit and that soul in the body, right? The more time in the body, okay, the more you evolve the body and evolve the spirit. Spirit does not evolve outside. In the sheep and cows, okay, there's no refinement. Okay, they're storehouses. Okay, you ate, you slept, you pooped, and once in a while you got laid. That's all I can remember of my time in the cow. Until, and I told you the story about me being put in the cow by Samael, until all of a sudden Friday night, sacrifice time, all the cows are running, and I'm standing around, what's the deal? What's the deal? You better run, you dumbass, Alf. Okay? And then, boom, here I see these guys coming with the long hook knives. Get out of Dodge. Dude, I'll tell you what. Okay, so bodies were the key. The better the bodies, okay? Ashara should know this. She really used bodies in Egypt, okay? In the temple of Osiris, okay? We were all body snatchers, okay? YHVH selected Israel the Hebrews. Why do you think he chose them? Well, because they bred them. He chose them. Why are they the chosen ones? They're chosen for their bodies, okay? The flesh bodies of the Hebrews, created from Abraham. They are not the stars in the sky, but what are they, Ashara?
The sand on the ground.
Didn't you see? Boy, 1 out of 3 ain't bad. You're getting better, girlfriend.
I know.
I think we're going to have one of the other girls on the show, right? Someone who's a little quicker. Probably had a today. Okay.
Her and I, hey, we talked before the show. We've both been tired the last few days. So.
Yeah, I'm having an off day.
We are not with it. Tequila and Clarky are tired.
5-hour energy drinks.
Yeah, right.
No energy drinks.
We can't all beat our body up like you do.
The nations wanted the bodies of the Hebrews. To serve them, they offered a better deal, okay? If you were a soul, okay, of Israel, it wasn't yours, okay, right? You didn't gain anything. You carried it. You passed it on, okay? You didn't get your own spirit, okay? You passed it on. But you had a promise that you would become, just like the angels of Israel, okay? The nations, which are the bodies, okay, and the gods, needed good bodies to carry their spirit, did they not? Okay, how did they increase? They increased firstborn to firstborn. They couldn't put their material, their spiritual material, in a second, third, fourthborn, or a woman, okay? But the Hebrews, they could put anything in the damn Hebrews, okay? The nations needed bodies. They had no souls. Souls only started at Mount Sinai and came directly fragmented from YHVH through Michael, okay? The nations are gods, okay? What is a god, John Clark?
Anything, any entity that can fragment itself into form.
Exactly. Fragmentation is a creator system for increasing spirit, people. This is how it works. As I'm opening another pack of cigarettes. Gosh. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so we understand what a god is. We've talked about that many, many, many times.
May I ask a question real quick?
Let's go.
Okay, so the Hebrews were in Egypt growing Lucifer's spirit, and
No. Let's get correct on that. You're right, but let's be really right. Growing God's spirit through Lucifer, right? Because everything came through Lucifer.
Right, God's spirit through Lucifer, and this made their bodies better, right?
Well, so, for 9 generations, okay. Yes, of course it made their bodies better, but remember, their bodies were already pretty good because they came from Abraham. They descended through Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Remember, Japheth, the Christ, will live in the tents of Shem, and Lucifer will be their servant, right?
Yep.
Okay. So he threw them to the wolves, like he constantly, remember, the Hebrews were sheep to the slaughter.
That's right.
He threw them to the wolves. Okay, let's throw them to the nations. The most evil nation, Egypt, Amun-Ra. You know about evil nations in Egypt, right, Sarah?
Bring them to me.
Okay. By the way, if we have new people, it's just my sense of humor. Okay.
Right.
Just me.
Like, why is he so mean to Ashara?
He's a tug.
Mean to Ashara. God chastens the one he loves. It's written all through the Bible. I do the same. Okay. Let's go forward. Okay. So the nations needed a body. They had no souls. Okay, souls only came from YHVH. The nations were gods. Okay, let me read you what one person, I'm going to call him Clarky, says. What does Clarky say about that? It's all meaningless. Words, words, words. Well, here's what Clarky says. This is one aware. Remember, we're unveiled. We don't have the ego that veils, okay? We have the consciousness. So here's what he says. Starts out with, so I hated life. But let's leave that part out, okay? All of it is meaningless. A chasing after the wind, but it's really spirit, ruach. A chasing after the spirit. I hated all things. I had toiled under the sun, but I hated it because I must leave what I have worked for to the one who comes after me. Do you understand that? Okay, is that pretty clear? I must leave what I have worked for, my works, to the one who comes after me. And who knows whether it be a wise man or a fool. Yet he will have control over all the work into which I have poured all my effort and skill. Okay? He's getting it all. Okay? For a man may do his work with wisdom, knowledge, and skill. But what's the difference? He must leave it and all he owns to someone who has not worked for it. This is meaningless. What does a man get for all the toil and striving which he labors under the sun? All his days, his work is pain and grief. Okay? Right? Yeah. So he's explaining that he has to give it up, and he knows it. And here he goes. God gives wisdom, knowledge, and happiness to the man that pleases him. But to the sinner, he gives the task of gathering and storing up wealth. That's spirit, not gold and silver. To hand it over to the one who pleases God. Okay? Meaningless, a chasing after the spirit. Okay? So he's saying, we knew if you're a soul, okay, you had no shot at becoming a god and getting a realm, right? What does Lucifer say? What was the purpose? I will build my realm above, okay, the stars of God, right? And Christians go, oh my God, he wanted to make himself equal to or better than God. That was the deal. Okay, and I'm going to tell you about this. I briefly told Shawn, but this was a divine game. It was a program as to who would be the God of this universe, okay? I'm going to talk about it in a little bit, but it was a contest. Whoever could, when we first came here, and I talked about it, being up in, let's call it heaven, up in the celestial, right? Here's what we're going to do. We've built a world and created it where you can build your realms above for the flesh below by placing your spirit into matter. Who wants to follow Lucifer, right? Down.
Siriliel said, I want to make my realm above through the flesh below.
I said, me.
I will do it in France.
So we all left to do it. But the other part of the deal was, I don't talk about much, as he said, okay, a lot of different entities went in level of spirit. There were greater gods, lesser gods, but we all went. But it was supposed to be a fair chance. Whoever can put the most spirit in matter, and nobody had ever done this before. Understand, there was not fragmentation. So just because, let's say, I'm Alf and Shawn is Shawn, okay, if I've never done it before and he hasn't either, right, do I have a better chance of doing it than Shawn does? No. It would seem pretty fair. Do you understand what I'm saying, Ashara?
Yeah. Everybody gets, it's like the homesteading thing.
Yeah. If you've never swam before, and Siriliel's never swam before, okay, right, and you're both about the same size and the same muscle base, hey, who knows that he's going to beat you? Just because he's bigger and taller than you, hey, that don't mean nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Right? If both never swam before, who's to say who wins, right? So anyway, that was the plan, okay? Okay, so the nations needed bodies. And where did they go? They went to the souls of Israel. Israel was always attacked by bigger nations than them, okay? Right? So I've already proved to you that we knew, okay, as a soul, that you're giving that stuff up, have I not?
Yes.
What I just read to you out of Ecclesiastes, right? This person speaking, let's call him Clarkey Sr., okay, knew that he wasn't getting nothing. You know, sheep to the slaughter. He's not even getting it. Only the firstborns were getting it, okay? So let's look at Isaiah, my favorite book, 36:16. Okay, this is where the army of Assyria comes to Jerusalem, okay? And this is the king. The king is the god, okay? Right? Speaking at the gates of Jerusalem, okay? Remember, they can't kill you and take it from you to go back to Michael. So, but if you entrusted it, you could do so. So here's what he says. Do not listen to Hezekiah. That was the king of Judah. This is what the king of Assyria says. Make peace with me. That means come over to my spirit, okay? Make peace with me and come out to me, okay? Who's he talking to? Come out to him. Is he talking to come out of the gates, or is he talking to come out of the bodies? Ashara?
Out of the bodies.
Right. Come out to me. Then every one of you will eat from his own vine, okay, and fig tree, and drink water from his own cistern, okay? The vine is your own line, okay? And your cistern, okay, is your own body. If you're a firstborn, okay, you eat your own food. And who are the food? The souls, okay? Right? You will eat from your own vine. That means he's going to make you a god. You'll no longer be a soul in the second or thirdborn. You're going to give up yours. You will eat from your own vine and fig tree, same thing, and drink water, water spirit, from your own cistern, until I come and take you to a land like your own, a land of grain and new wine. What is grain, Shawn?
Low-grade spirit, raw spirit.
Yeah, right. And new wine or new souls. And a land of bread and vineyards. Bread is Holy Spirit. Do not let Hezekiah mislead you. The Lord has delivered, has the God of any nation ever delivered his land from the hand of the king of Assyria? Okay? Anyways, okay? They were always soliciting Israel, okay? And the promise was, we'll make you a god, okay? Right? We'll give you our spirit, and then you'll go firstborn to firstborn. And you will have a kingdom within my kingdom. You'll have a brick in the wall. Right, Ashara?
Right.
Okay.
A brick in the block.
1620, okay? And let me show you how this continued to happen, okay? And I got to tell you, okay, you're going to see as I'm going to read it, Michael got more and more pissed, okay? More and more pissed. Israel was always raided and plundered and looted, okay? And it wasn't the point of entrusting when they gave up the little bit of spirit of YHVH. Okay, remember, it's not a firstborn, okay? But they're giving up wealth that was stored within them. That wasn't the biggest deal, okay? The point was they were now carriers of a competing God. Do you understand that, Siriliel?
Yes.
They're carrying the spirit of a competing God. And, well, what's the big deal? The big deal is because of the game, the carrot that was dangled. Okay, he who has the most would be ruler of this universe. Okay? right? That was the deal. Okay, nobody wanted to lose something to anybody else. Okay, here it is, 1620 Ezekiel, and he's talking directly to the souls. This is Michael, okay? He's talking about Israel's prostitution and serving everybody else, and he says, and you took your sons and daughters, whom you bore to me, and sacrificed them as food to the idols. Okay, the idols are the other gods of the nations, and they refer to them as idols because they didn't create heaven and earth. Okay, they're nothing compared to him, but they're still gods. And you took your sons and daughters, the godly children whom you bore to me, and sacrificed them as food to the idols. You slaughtered my children and sacrificed them. That means gave them up to the fire. When they say that, okay, and a lot of people say, oh, the Hebrews, they killed their children and sacrificed them to Baal. No, BS. It means, if you touch from the Hebrew, throwing them into the fire, okay? Right? You gave them over to Lucifer, okay? You slaughtered my children and sacrificed them to the idols. Was your prostitution not enough? Okay? So you can see that what I'm saying was true. People were entrusting all the time, right? To Michael, it was killing my kids, okay? You understand? To the Creator God, it was the same thing, okay? Go to Jeremiah 2:11. Okay, it's just like the entrusting thing, okay? Just like the old days. They're entrusting, and they're getting a better deal. Check it out. Jeremiah 2:11. We're going to talk about Andrea's story here in a minute. Woo! The camel, the wild donkey, camel, and heat. Boy, that was Andrea. That was all of you women, and the men too. Okay, here we go. Check it out, what YHVH is Michael saying. Has any nation ever changed its gods? They can't, okay, right? Your spirit's in them. Yet they are not gods at all. But my people have exchanged their glory. What is your glory, Andrea?
Your spirit.
Right. Your combined works is your glory, right? Okay.
Right.
But my people have exchanged their glory, right? That proves once again that they've given it up. They've changed it. Exchanged it, okay? For worthless idols, these are the gods of the nations, okay? Be appalled at this, O heavens, okay? And shudder with great horror, declares YHVH. My people have committed two sins. They have forsaken me, the spring of their living water. What does that mean, Ashara? The spring of their living water that Michael's saying to them.
The original spirit, where they came from.
Exactly. The spirit, original spirit comes from them, spring of their water. They have forsaken me, and they have dug their own cisterns. Okay? Right? Just like I explained before. They've made their own wells. They have become a well, dug their own cistern. Right? They have become the firstborn as a god. Okay? They have dug their own cisterns, broken cisterns that cannot hold water. Is Israel a servant, a slave by birth? Why then has he become plunder? Okay? This is what was happening. Michael's getting more and more pissed. Okay? And now, here is how he describes Israel. And most of you old ones have all come through Israel. Those of you who didn't, even your newbies, your 2s, your 4s, your 5s, your 6s, you have the spirit or soul because of them. Remember, Michael, at the last thing he did, he went around, right? And he got most all of the 144,000 to entrust their works to him. Correct, Ashara?
Yes.
That's Christ. And then what he did, he returned with that, with everything else, up to the celestial realm, heaven, if you want to say so. And from there, all that material was refragmented, placed into Israel first, okay, the Hebrews, and then all of the heathens, the godless ones, they were given it, okay? So essentially, no matter what, no matter who you are, no matter what age you are, understand this. Whether a young soul, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 7, an 8, it all came from Israel. Israel will bud and blossom and fill all the world with flute. Boy, give me that flute.
Fill the world with flute.
The world with flute. Okay, so let me read.
Okay, musical world.
Okay.
One, not to take this personal. Long ago, you broke off your yoke. Okay, what is the yoke? That means your yoke are tied to, okay, Michael, that spirit. Long ago, you broke off your yoke and tore off your bonds. You said, I will not serve you. Indeed, on every high hill and under every spreading tree, what do you think the spreading tree is, Ashara?
The other gods.
Right, exactly. Tree is a spirit. And under every spreading tree, you lay down as a prostitute. Planted you like a choice vine. of sound and reliable stock. How then did you turn against me into a corrupt wild vine? Okay? How can you say I am not defiled? I have not run after the Baals. The Baals, this isn't Baal. Baal means Lord or Master in Hebrew. Okay? In this case, how could you not run after the Baals? The Baal is referring to the what, Ashara?
The other 71.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See how you behave in the valley. Consider what you have done. Yeah, I love this. You are a swift she-camel running here in a wild donkey accustomed to the desert, sniffing the wind in her craving. In heat, who can restrain her? Any males that pursue her need not tire themselves. Okay? Souls are feminine. Males are spirits, correct?
Right.
Any males or any spirits that pursue her need not tire themselves. At mating time, they will find her. Shishara was very easy to catch. She would chase you in Egypt. You better run. Any people that pursue her, any spirits or gods that pursue her, need not tire themselves. At mating time, they'll find her. Do not run until your feet are bare and your throat is dry. But you said, it's no use. I love foreign gods, and I must go after them. Okay? Do you see the picture? Do you understand, okay, that Israel was solicited, looted, plundered, defiled constantly for the bodies, okay? Okay?
Yep.
Here's Michael's answer to that, okay? You understand how, and we're going to talk about in a minute, how much of a bad ass, excuse me for saying that, oh my God, inappropriate word, Michael is, okay? Okay, we're going to talk about it. But here's Michael's answer to Israel, okay? Again, through Jeremiah, okay? Right? Okay, he's telling them, okay, you got to understand, there is one perfected spirit, okay, being refined, and that's of the Creator God. Everything else is low-grade iron or raw grain. Right, Shawn?
Yep.
Okay, so here's what he says. He's talking to the other gods, okay, and to those of Israel. You have planted them, and they have taken root, okay? They grow and bear fruit. And here's what he says. They will sow wheat, but reap thorns. Okay? In other words, everybody who's taken on that spirit, okay, it's going to grow. Okay, grow and sow are the same. Sow means to scatter, plant, or grow. They will sow wheat, but they will reap thorns. Okay? So what's he really saying by that, Ashara?
It's going to kill him.
Yeah, basically, you haven't gotten there yet. But he's taking up.
You will not let them reap.
Right? He knew he was going to kill him. He knew he was going to plunder the nations. The nations didn't know that. They thought it was another fair contest. Like God said, whoever's the biggest and collects the most and grows the most. Right? Well, what God really said was whoever has the most when the time's up. Okay? Right? They all tried to take it from each other. There were no rules. They could. Okay? But they didn't understand that pretty soon the game is rigged. Somebody more bigger and stronger is going to take it from them. They never thought that was not, I mean, that can't happen. Okay? What did? They will so all those people that entrusted to any of the other 72 gods, they will sow wheat, they will grow good spirit, but they're going to reap thorns. They're getting nothing out of it. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? Right? Okay. As the astral actually began, okay? We're talking more about it. This whole show's about the astral. There's a lot to go. I better hurry up. It's 7:07, and I got 8 pages. Okay. So, as the astral began, only Israel, only God's spirit through Michael, YHVH, would go into the astral. Okay? And he wanted to take it out of the sheep and cows, but he also wanted to prevent the souls of the Hebrews in Israel. They wanted to prevent them from doing what, Shawn? Entrusting it to the nations. Right?
Yes. I wasn't paying attention. That was the problem.
You usually don't, but that's all right. Okay. So whenever I'll shut my mouth now, okay, for a brick. We had Kelly invented that one, but she knew what was coming on Kara. You're going to get kicked like a brick. Yeah. But one of the reasons for the astral, okay, so they couldn't be looted. Let's protect it. Okay, couldn't bring it up above the firmament, so that's why the astral was created. Okay. Okay. Now let's go next and see what he says. Okay. Here's what he says. Okay. And he's talking directly to the souls. These wicked people who refuse to listen to my words and who follow the stubbornness of their hearts and go after other gods to serve and worship them will be like this belt, completely useless. For as a belt is bound around a man's waist, so I bind the whole house of Israel and the whole house of Judah to me, declares YHVH. To be my people, for my renown is actually glory. Again, they didn't understand. Okay. For my glory and praise and honor. But they have not listened. Okay. So the plan now is to bind them. Okay. And he binds them two ways. Okay. He binds them with a silver cord to the heart center. Okay. And he binds them to himself. Okay. Using the belt as a metaphor. Okay. Now the plan is, remember, as we talked about last time, the consciousness of Lucifer, the spirit of God through Lucifer, is placed where in the body of Shara?
In the mind.
In the mind. It is the consciousness. This is correct. Okay? Okay. Hang on. I'm not turning my pages fast enough. Okay, of course it's Jeremiah. Sorry, people. Should I write down some Bible verses that are important, and they're all over the place? It's got to be Jeremiah 55:7.
That's pretty cool. That's when the silver cord came into being. Wow.
Yes, we're getting there. We're going to talk about that. Very good. The silver cord that we all know, okay, and we talked about the silver cord, is, of course it isn't. Okay, so here's the new plan, okay, and he says, I will give you a new heart and a new spirit, okay, and it's going to be attached to the heart center, okay. He's going to put the soul in your heart and mind. It's coming, not yet. The new heart, new spirit, okay, I'm going to place my law into your heart and to your mind. He's going to take both places. But right now he cannot place it as your consciousness because his consciousness is already in you through Lucifer. Again, the Hebrews grew both spirits. So it was attached to the heart center. Okay, and at this point, okay, and the promises was, if you carry my spirit, you will, to the firstborns only, you will get the eternal spirit. Everybody else is bound, okay? So the soul is going to be chained to the heart center, so you can't give it up, you can't entrust it. Plus, upon death, it will go straight to the astral, okay, right? And no touch it or take it. You can't entrust it. You're basically screwed. You're now really a doulos, a slave. No more do you have any kind of free will, okay? So the astral became the first step in securing the wealth, to protect it. Now remember, it still belonged to Lucifer because of Adam's choice, okay? But God was stored away from the wolves. The wolves are the nations, okay? So it couldn't be entrusted if it came out. It went straight to the astral. And it was bound only to Michael, okay? Passage after passage after passage. You know, the nations come to give me your wives and all your children, okay? The best of your silver and your gold. Israel was constantly looted and plundered. They had the best bodies, and they had the spirit. And it's not that the nations wanted the spirit. Believe me, they did not want to start. They couldn't take from the firstborn, but they didn't want what they had so much. They wanted the bodies of the Hebrews, okay? Mm-hmm. Remember, it takes two spirits coming together. It takes a man, a woman, okay? The spirit wraps to the wife to make a soul. It takes a spirit to make a soul. It takes a firstborn to make a soul, okay? The soul is the excess that is not stored, okay, and placed into the firstborn, okay? So it takes a spirit to make a soul. Without the firstborn spirits, you can't make souls. And this is how later on, and this will be in the next part, Michael versus Lucifer, how Lucifer was confounded, okay, right? You should have never given up those firstborns, okay, to Christ, okay? Without the firstborn spirits, spirits make souls. Nothing else makes souls, okay? Souls don't make souls. Spirits make souls, okay? Now, from this point, everything would be stored into the astral realm, given up upon death, placed back into the body at birth. The refined material would go into the astral based upon the cycle you were in. And everybody started as a 1, right? When they first incarnated. Would you agree, Siriliel?
Yes, like a 1. After that, you have to incur karma, go to the 2.
Exactly. Okay.
I'm reading the book, by the way.
Read the book. The Creator fit in the astral, and he. Okay. We talk about the New Testament. Okay, it's like a giant purification tank. Okay, who had chemicals to the water to purify it. He would leaven it with his spirit. As we all had the consciousness of Lucifer. Okay, when we were unveiled, we knew the deal. Okay, the firstborns would get the promise. Okay, well they didn't. Okay, but they would get the promise. Okay, of having eternal life, eternal realm up there. The secondborns would get nothing, and all the souls knew it. Okay, so Michael offered a deal to Israel, the Hebrews, as he knew what was coming. He offered them a deal. All the ones that left, okay, right, and many left to carry the spirit of Egypt. It's all throughout there. I can't read so many to you. But they left to carry the spirit of Egypt. They left to carry the spirit of Assyria. They left to carry the spirit of Persia, okay? Many, 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 they were all excluded. So Michael offered a deal because he knew what was coming, okay? Hell on earth. And he is going to take everything from the 71 gods, a.k.a. the nations. To his own, this is what he said. To those of Israel, the souls that have left, okay? Here's what he said, Jeremiah 15:19. Okay? And this is where repenting first came. Now understand, this word is repent. Okay? Even though you see it in English, it's not what it says in Greek. Okay? It means return. But 15:9, here is what Michael says to them. There we go. Pages are so stuck together. Come on, Ed. I didn't do it, did I? Figures. I had to have one screw up. Okay, basically he says to them, and I can't find it because I wrote down the wrong verse. Okay? Jeremiah 15:19. Okay? That is the wrong verse. But here's what he says. I'll ad-lib it for you. Okay? Here it is. Right where I thought it was. Duh. Okay. If you repent means to return to me. Okay? If you return, I will restore you that you may serve me. If you repent, then I will restore you that you may serve me. What do you think that means, Ashara?
Drop the other gods and come back to me, and then he'll let you have his spirit again to grow.
Right, exactly. If you repent, okay? If you return, that's all repent means. If you return, I will what does restore you mean? He'll give you back his spirit, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
That you may serve me. How do you serve God, Siriliel?
To serve God, to be incarnate.
No, but how do you serve him? What do you do for him? Yeah, incarnate is right.
To carry his spirit.
Very good, John. Okay? You serve God by carrying his spirit. And you have a choice. Don't matter if you believe in him. Don't matter if you're atheist, Jewish, Christian, Hindu, Japanese, Chinese, or Tchurwid. Okay? Tchurwid means all screwed up, confused in Arabic. Moroccan, actually. Tchurwid. Okay? Doesn't make any difference. You serve him by carrying his spirit. That's the deal. Okay? So he says, only those of us, if you repent, I will restore you, that you may serve me. Because you ain't been serving him. So he's given them a chance. Okay? Now understand, Yahshua was created. Israel was chained by the silver cord to the bodies of the Hebrews. Okay? Let's talk about that silver cord. I was shocked when I first started reading the Bible and picked it up 7, 8 years ago when I saw that. Because in New Age, we're always taught about the silver cord, are we not, Ashara?
Yes.
Silver cord of Siriliel?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I have heard about the silver cord, have you not?
Yes, I did. That's what is linked to the heart center.
Yeah.
From above.
To the heart center, which most of you didn't know. You know, there's a silver cord that your astral body is attached to. Okay?
Yes.
That's the silver cord. So we always get back. Okay. Well, I was shocked when I found it in the Bible. What? You mean this New Age stuff is in the Bible? Yeah, it is. Okay? And here it is. What meant?
Everything is in the Bible.
I know.
Yeah, I've seen that in the Bible.
Okay, Ecclesiastes 12:6. Remember him before the silver cord is broken or the golden bowl is severed. Okay? The spirit returns to God who gave it. Okay? All right? Remember him before the silver cord is severed or the golden bowl is broken. Okay? And the spirit returns to God who gave it. Okay? The belt mentioned is the astral, and the silver cord is the chain, chaining, okay, the soul to the heart center to the body. So they can't give it up. Again, only the wealth of YHVH, okay, which is Michael, went to the astral. Everything else was stored in the gods of the nations, okay? The 71 gods, it either was in them, okay, or in their cows and sheep. Okay, now let's talk about the astral. Between wars and violations of the laws, there was a tremendous dumping into the astral. You remember last week, and all Jewish people and religious people, Ashara, talk about, oh, how great the law was, right? It's a gift to the Jewish people, the Israelites, the Hebrews, right?
Yep.
Well, did YHVH say in the first person, right? I read it to you, right, last week? I'm pretty sure I did. I gave them laws and rules they couldn't live by, right?
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was to refine you to make it worse, okay? Right. Well, no gift. That's
We
the
were
law.
so abused.
Right. I gave them laws, rules, and regulations they couldn't live by. And almost every breaking of the law was death, okay, or taking the spirit away and throwing you to the wolves, okay? Passage after passage after passage. Okay, give up the wealth or we're going to take it. Now understand this. A soul, people, okay, is an earthly creation, okay? Right? The spirits are heavenly. The souls came after Michael, okay, some from the Nephilim. All the wealth collected was stored in Michael. And after coming out of Egypt, after taking their glory, it was fragmented at Mount Sinai on earth. So did these souls come down from heaven from the celestial realm, Andrea?
No, they did not.
They did not, okay?
Nope.
So they're still attached to Lucifer through Adam's choice, okay? God still owns the firstborn spirits, but all the souls are attached to Lucifer, okay? The firstborns don't go into the astral, okay? That spirit incarnates firstborn to firstborn, okay? And you give that spirit up before you die. You don't have to die to have it jump, okay? That was a blessing. Abraham to Jacob, Jacob to Isaac, this one to that one, okay? You gave it to your firstborn, okay? And then upon death, you either place it in or place it into the grandchild, okay? So they never went to the astral, okay? All 144,000 of them. It's the excess of material, the growth, okay, that went into the souls. Instead of going into the cows, it's going into the souls. Because in the cows, is there any refinement in the sheep or a cow, Shawn?
Nope.
No. Number one, there's no law. There's no trespass. The cow is an innocent little victim, a great storehouse. Eat, sleep, poop, and a little bit of the ajita once in a while, right? Right?
No, they could.
I'll tell you what, no, good. I'll tell you what. Sex as a cow, I remember it. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world, okay? And it was kind of difficult to do.
Hey, it's cowy style, right?
Right. Some of them are pretty hard to catch, right? I'm telling you what. Okay. So it's the excess growth of the firstborns, okay, that form the material to go into the souls, okay? Right? And a firstborn couldn't be solicited, right? And if you solicited a firstborn who's already a god, what are you offering him? Be your own well? They already were their own well, weren't they? Right? Have your own line? I already got my own line, don't I? Okay? Right? And we knew it. So, everything else, the increase was stored in the children to refine. So you could now, instead of putting it in the cow, you can put it in the children. And if it's in a body, it will be refined, will it not, Siriliel?
Yes, because in the body they can go through darkness, they can go through karma, they can go through everything that make it grow.
Exactly. And Hebrew said the best bodies, okay? Right? Engineered, manipulated by Planet X and Anunnaki.
Modified by Michael, that's it.
Now understand this. the average lifetime during this period in time was about 40 years at best, okay? Right? Wars on purpose, violation of the laws, and every other danger ensured this. Remember, okay, they refer to themselves as sheep to the slaughter. That's what we were, okay? Right? Sheep to the slaughter, okay? Either by war or attrition, okay, or violating some law, you're going to die. So making it 40 years was quite good, okay? Another thing, great one. I won't give you the verse. I know it by heart, but it's in Isaiah. He says, we said, Jerusalem is the frying pan, and we are the meat. How do you like that one, Ashara?
That's great.
Not really. No.
I know. We were so abused. Well, this is back when the law was will of God, not love. Will.
Frying pan, meat. Okay. Right?
Was.
Understand this, and this is where it comes together, that in a roughly 1,500-year period, this is from Mount Sinai to about the end, okay, right, to where Christ left, okay, and to begin soliciting the members of Israel, okay, then in a roughly, this refining process went over 1,500 years. If you take 40 years for average incarnation, okay, and divide 40 into 1,500, I made 1,600 to make it even. How many incarnations would you have, Shawn? If it's a 1,600-year period and it's 40 years average per incarnation, how many times would you have incarnated over that period?
So 4.
Good.
It's 40, isn't it then?
No, 40 into 1,600 is what?
It's not 400.
It's 40.
It's 40, yeah. Gotta
Right.
be.
Okay. It's 40. Okay?
I'm going to work my little calculator. Yeah, so 40 squared, 1,600, yeah.
If in each incarnation the spirit increased 20% and the body increased 20% in grade meaning light, as both matter and spirit are increased, transformed through incarnation, over a 1,600-year period, okay, at 20%, how much did the whole thing increase?
800%.
Exactly. 800. And let's say it was 10%. It only increased 400%, right? Both in its size and its quality. Okay, that's only if through each incarnation, okay, you increased the body size and the body vibration to carry 10% more light, right? That's not a lot, okay? Take it away from the 20%. Let's go to the 10%, okay? And that's about standard, okay? All right? So not only do you increase the amount of spirit above, but you increased the size that each one could carry. Okay, so over that 1,600-year period of 40 times, you increase the material above 400%. Okay, and that's taking it at the minimum. Okay. So the astral grew 400 times larger.
Well,
and remember, it's more than that because...
No. 4 times. So maybe you're looking at the 10% wrong, but
50 times, right? Oh, dude, it went up 100%, correct?
100% every 10, which is doubling.
Right. So it's 100% times 4. It's 400%.
Right, which is quadrupling.
Well, yeah, it's 400%. Okay. So it quadrupled over that time period.
Of course, yeah, whatever. Yeah, the 10% grows too each time. So
yeah.
It's compound interest. You know, God gives you that just like the banks.
I'm trying to give you, again, I'm not a scientist or mathematician. I'm trying to give you an idea, okay? And these aren't exact. Some bodies would go 20%. Remember, we figured 20%. I cut it down to 10 just to show you how much it was increased. It was increased 400% at least, okay, over that time period, okay?
Mm.
And this, okay, is we're talking about pure gold, okay? Over a 1,500-year period, both the flesh bodies of the Hebrews and the spirit that they increased and refined increased 400%, both in size and quality. In addition to what Michael was going to be collecting, I haven't told you about that yet, from the 70 gods of the nations, and we'll discuss that in a few. Okay? The Creator continually says throughout the Old Testament, all nations, all peoples will serve me. All people will carry my spirit. But what did he have to do before he could give it to all the billions and billions of people on earth, Ashara? What did he have to do?
He had to take it out of all those people.
Get
You
it.
have to ascend.
Yeah.
Well, no. First he had to collect it because it's on earth,
You
right?
have to
That's
refine it.
form. Okay? We had to collect it and then return back above the firmament with it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So first he had to get it. Okay? We're going to talk about getting it. Okay? Now, first of all the spirit that was grown, okay, who was doing the growing this whole time that everything was going into the astral? Okay? Ashara was doing the growing.
The Hebrews.
Hebrews. Israel's the spirit, Hebrews were the flesh bodies. Okay? And here's what some of the verses say, right? And I'm ad-libbing because I know by heart. Israel will bud and blossom, this comes out of Isaiah, and fill all the world with fruit. What is fruit, Shawn?
Spirit.
Souls or spirit. Either or, souls or spirit, mostly soul, okay? Israel will bud and blossom, fill all the world with souls. Okay? It says again, Cando's favorite and mine. Once more, Judah is the Christ line, will take root below and bear fruit above. What does that remind you of my favorite saying? God's also, Kando?
You have to create yourself above through the flesh below.
I can only understand it when it's said with that French accent now.
What? What is not a French? You have an accent. I don't have an accent.
What?
You have an accent.
I have no
You have
accent,
an accent.
my friend. No.
Hey, enough. Your energy is screwing up Skype. Once more, Judah, this is the Christ line, will take root below and bear fruit above. And like Siriliel said, okay, I will, how do you say it, Siriliel?
Create myself above to the flesh below.
This is the same thing, French accent or not. Take root below, bear fruit above. Create myself above through the flesh below. Okay, this is what all of you came here to do. You have no other purpose, okay? None. This is your purpose, to become. Okay, let's talk about the nations. Here's what Michael says, okay? Right? As he's starting to get pissed. And I hope it's Isaiah 48:10 because I just wrote down 48:10. Pretty sure it is. Yep, here it is. Here's what Michael says, okay, to Israel. For my own name's sake. See, Michael's a lot like Alfie, okay? He really is, okay? Right? But he's a lot better than Alfie, okay? He can hold himself back, okay? Because he knows when he goes off, everybody's going to hate him and hate on him. You know, like everybody hated on me last week. Sorry, people. It was demon on demon. It wasn't her angel and my demon, okay? Obviously, everybody knows that. Here's what Michael says, okay? For my own name's sake, I delay my wrath. For the sake of my praise, I hold it back from you, so as not to cut you off. You didn't want to cut him off for Israel. He's got a purpose. See, I have refined you, though not as silver. I have tested you in the furnace of affliction. What is the furnace of affliction, Ashara?
It's probably Egypt.
No. Well, there too. But incarnation in general.
Right, all the incarnations. Yep.
Within the body.
1,600 years.
You understand that this entire Old Testament is veiled in metaphor, parable. Can you see that? Okay? If I'm a Christian scholar reading that, I've refined you, though not as silver. I've tested you in the furnace of affliction. What in the hell is he saying? Right? Mm-hmm. You can't know it. That's why people say, I know the Bible. Oh, my God, please, tell me something great. For my own sake, I do this. Here's the kick line, people.
We're in the furnace of affliction now.
Exactly. We still are.
In the fire.
Into the fire, I'm falling. Talking. Okay. And here's the punchline. How can I let myself be defamed? I will not yield my glory to another. Okay? Do you understand that? Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't giving you my stuff. I will not yield my glory to another. By the way, I always when I deal with Christians and Jews, there's only one God. Well, yeah, okay. Who is Michael worried about? Who is he not going to yield his glory to? The boogeyman? Pizza man? Dominoes? Who is he not going to yield his glory to? I will not yield my glory to another. Okay? Understand. Okay? It ain't going to happen. He is going to win. He is going to be the Christ at all costs. Now, here's the plan. Okay? Let me give it to you. Right? When we first came here, right, all at an even scale. And the Creator God said to us, okay, He creates yourself above through the flesh below. He who builds the greatest realm and has the most wealth, okay, I will make Lord God of the universe. That was the deal. And nobody had ever done this before, right? So we all, sure, there were bigger sizes. Lucifer was the greatest. There were gods bigger than me. There were also gods, angels smaller than me, okay? But I had as much chance as anybody else, okay? Let's see. All I got to get out there and do is work. Place my spirit in everything I can place it into. And nobody knew how to do that. We had to learn how to do it. Do you understand that, Allfaaraa?
Yes, now I do.
You're laughing. Is Shawn tickling you? Did I miss a joke?
No, that's funny. Sorry.
Well, okay, I want to laugh. We all want to laugh. What?
It's funny we didn't know what we were doing and we came in and tried to go into monkeys and rocks and whatever else. That's pretty funny.
But place spirit into matter.
Yeah.
Okay? You're the spirit and the matter. But anyways, okay? So the plan was whoever, okay, and they never give us a time period, but whoever had the most amount of spirit did the best job. It's like your best employee. Whoever sells the most cars this week gets the $10,000 bonus. Does that make sense, Allfaaraa? Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you get your book out, Allfaaraa, by the 5th, now we know it's going to take you to the 30th, but you get it done by the 5th, we're going to give you a $5,000 bonus. You understand? Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, same thing. Whoever has the most does the best job wins. Okay? So, we came 4 billion years ago, we worked toward a dream. And we all possessed a dream. I did, okay, of becoming the Lord of the universe. A grand contest.
I have a dream.
Yeah, a big dream. A grand contest with the greatest God winning. Okay? Who could assemble all the spirit would win. Okay? God's promise is what caused the problems. Like Lucifer says, I will build my realm above the stars of God. Okay? Right? Lucifer then was the god of Babylon. Okay? I will build my realm. Okay? Remember, there's Archangel Lucifer and there's Lord Lucifer, right? There's two. This is Archangel Lucifer, okay, as Babylon. I will build my realm above the stars of God. Well, there were no rules. God didn't lay down any rules, okay? Right? So everybody was looting everybody else, okay? Everybody was killing everybody else. But what did all nations want more than anything? What did they want? They wanted the bodies of the Hebrews. Here's the real deal, okay? And we read you some of the good stuff, right? Whenever I read the Bible, I find stuff that I've read, and I just read over it, okay? Let me tell you what God is saying to Israel. Remember, these are his direct descendants, okay, from his son. Isaiah 61:6. Isaiah's got all the good stuff in it. Check this out. No, it's not. Hang on. What is 61:6? Here it is. Ready? You will feed on the wealth of nations, and in their riches you will boast. Okay? You will feed on the wealth of nations, and in their riches you will boast. My people will receive a double portion. Okay? Let's go to Isaiah 45:3. Well, how are they going to feed on those nations? Okay? Feed means food, eat their spirit, share up their spirit, right, Allfaaraa?
Yes.
How are they going to do that? Okay? I mean, how are they going to feed on that? Here's another one. Here's what he says to Israel. I will go before you. I will level the mountains. The mountains are the gods, the archangels. I will break down their gates of bronze, cut through their bars of iron. And he says, I will give you the treasures of darkness, riches stored in secret places. Mm. He says it again in Deuteronomy 32, and the same thing where the 72 is. Okay? So where do you think those secret places where the riches of darkness were stored, Allfaaraa?
All the other 71 gods. He went out and plundered them.
I know when I ask you an answer, hopefully I won't get embarrassed, and neither will you. Wait, what was the question we asked her earlier, Shawn? Light. Okay.
What makes you smart?
He's telling them he's going to give them the wealth of the nations, right? Correct?
Correct.
But to do that, well, somebody's got to take it from them, don't they? Yes?
Yes.
Siriliel?
Yes, to go.
Unless
Yes,
they're going to give it up.
They ain't going to give it up, right? They all want to be God. But the deal was rigged. It was stacked from the beginning. God let everybody out there. It's like you dangle the bonus. It's a $10,000 bonus to whoever sells 30 cars this month. Well, nobody ever before has sold 20. But for 10 grand, we're all going to bust our butts to sell 30 cars, aren't we, Shawn?
Yes.
Every one of us is going to work as hard as we can to get the bonus.
Good
And
entity.
being Lord God of the universe is a pretty big bonus. Remember, I've said this, for those of you who haven't heard, and we let it go, what is one of the advantages of being Lord of a universe? What is it you really get? You get a bunch of spirit? You get to build other realms? Hey, I've talked about this. Who remembers? Anybody?
I remember.
Yeah, I know Clarky does. Go ahead, Clarky. What do you get?
You get all of the experiences of that realm.
All the memories, all the feelings of every fragment of you incarnate. Can you imagine Michael sitting up there, right, about 8 o'clock at night, kind of bored, and said, well, let's tune in. How about what it's like to have sex 6 billion times at the same time?
Oh,
that's
God.
pretty awesome. Can you imagine? Right? 6 billion people all having sex at the same time?
Don't tell Coco that.
Yeah, you know what? I would just create myself to the flesh below and do my own universe. Bye-bye.
Universe, that's what you have. You have all the wealth, remember, it's you in them. The soul is really him, okay? Right? Or let's have 1 billion people all eating steak or lobster or shrimp or whatever your favorite food is, okay? Let's do that. Or let's take the 100,000 that are all out there committing evil at the same time. Let's go for that one, okay? So understand, that's what you get, okay? Okay, anyways. The plan proposed was that the greatest God wins. All one of the bodies of the Hebrews. Okay, so Michael says, you will feed on the wealth of nations. I will give you the wealth stored in darkness. Okay, Michael personally wreaked havoc on the nations, paying that back for what was done to Israel, and basically taking their damn lunch money. Okay, let me explain to you what Michael is. Can you explain to me, Shawn, Ashariel, Siriliel, only one of you, tell me what Michael is, spiritually speaking. How great is he? How powerful is he? What is Michael composed of?
He was all of the remaining part of the
light.
Creator. That besides Lucifer, Michael, YHVH, Michael was the rest.
Okay.
The rest of all the stuff of the Creator. All the spirit.
Michael is 12 archangels, correct?
Right.
And 1 Christ. Okay? That means he's 12 constellations, right? 12 realms, okay? And he's 144,000 angels all in one, okay? Right? What is one of the other 71 creator gods or gods of the nations? They're a Mazal. They are 1 constellation. Would you agree, Shar?
Right. So he's a galaxy, right?
No, constellation, galaxy, same thing in this case, okay?
Oh, okay.
He's 12. He's 12 of them. They're one of them. If you assembled them all together, you'd have 71, right? But they're not all together. Each one's independent, like the countries we have here. Okay, you got the United States, you got Canada, you got Australia. Each one is working for what? United States, Canada, Australia, right? Okay? Each one is their own separate country, having their own separate people, okay? But Michael's 12 in one, okay? The nations are 1 constellation each. A Mazal, an archangel, Lord, is a constellation. Constellation galaxy, same thing, okay? Let's call it the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Michael's like a 1,000,000-man army with the latest weapons, say, compared to Costa Rica. I'm not right? It's a beautiful
he
post.
is badass.
But that's what he is. He is God's right arm, the hammer. Talks about it all through the book, My Right Arm. Okay?
So, yeah, so you have a big advantage anyway.
Well, yeah, there's no comparison. Okay?
Yeah, you couldn't.
Yeah, let me describe and read Isaiah 49. So there's nothing, no force ever before or ever again created that can stand against Michael. No ETs, okay? No spaceships. No Lord Ashtar, my friend, okay? Nothing, okay? Go to Isaiah 49. Let me read you this whole thing, okay? And here is what happened, okay? Here we are. You ready? This is God talking to Michael, okay? Okay? And Michael describing himself right now. Listen to me, you islands. Hear this, you distant nations. What are the islands, Ashara? Another metaphor for the other gods, okay? Right? Michael's not really asking the island of Hawaii, sorry, Kathy, to listen to him, right? Listen to me, you islands. No, he's talking to the gods and the nations. Before I was born, YHVH called me. From my birth, he has made mention of my name. He made my mouth like a sharpened sword. In the shadow of his hand, he hid me. He made me into a polished arrow. Can you imagine we had Alvin reading this? He made me into a arrow.
Like a tiny seed.
You are a little seed also. That will one day so.
Okay, sorry. Had to have the humor. He hid me. He made me into a polished arrow and concealed me in his quiver. He said to me, you are my servant, Israel. Okay, Israel, Jacob, Mikael, in whom I will display my splendor. It's probably glory, kavod in Hebrew, but they use splendor. Okay, again, let's not get too, what are they talking about? My glory? How can they display glory? Okay. In whom I will display my splendor. And then Michael says, but I said, I have labored to no purpose. I have spent my strength in vain for nothing. Yet what is due me is in the Lord's hand, and my reward is with my God. Okay? Right? Yet what is due me? He's talking about the promise. He who is the biggest and has it all gets it. Right? Yet what is due me, okay? And now the Lord says, he who formed me in the womb, which is the earth, right, to be a servant, to bring Jacob back to him and gather Israel to himself. I am honored in the eyes of the Lord, and my God has been my strength. And here God says, it is too small a thing for you to be my servant, to restore the tribes of Jacob and bring back those of Israel I have kept. I will also make you a light for the Gentiles, the heathens, that you may bring my salvation to the ends of the earth. This is what YHVH says, the Redeemer and Holy One of Israel, to him who was despised and abhorred by the nations. Okay? So the plan is, okay, it's not enough just to be the Christ and God to Israel, right? He is already God of Israel, correct? Everybody understand that, Ashara?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, no. You're going to be God to the universe. That's the plan. You're going to be the light to the Gentiles, the heathens, the nations also. Okay, so let's go forward. Okay? Let me tell you a little about how it happened. Isaiah 63. Here is Michael collecting the stuff. Okay? Okay, now we have two more metaphors. Okay, grapes, for example, you are the grapes. Okay? Grapes are the fruit. When he talks about squeezing the grapes, if you squeeze grapes, what do they turn into, Siriliel? You should know this, you're French.
Wine.
Yes. And what is wine?
Soul.
Metaphor. Soul, right? Okay?
Yes.
The grapes are what gets squeezed or eaten to make the wine. Okay. Other metaphor. It's only used a couple times in the Bible as wine press. Okay? It's talked about in the passage I'm going to read you. It's also talked about in the parable in Matthew, where he talks about Israel. He dug a moat around it, right? He placed a wine press in the center of it. Okay? The wine press squeezes the grapes to make the wine. So what would you think the wine press is, Ashara? It's a metaphor for what?
Taking the spirit out, so.
But it's a metaphor for the god or the archangel that eats the food, that turns the spirit into souls. Okay, the wine press squeezes the grapes to make the wine. Okay, right? The wine press is the God, okay? And he squeezes the grapes. So here's what Michael says. Here it is. Wisely asked, who is this coming from Edom and Bozrah, with his garments stained in crimson, kind of like blood? Who is this robed in glory, striding forward in the greatness of his strength? It is I, speaking righteous, mighty to save. And God asked him, why are your garments red, like those of one treading the winepresses? Okay? I have trodden the winepresses alone. From the nation, no one was with me. I trampled them in anger and trod them down in my wrath. Their blood, what is blood, Shawn?
Also spirit.
Yeah, more like Holy Spirit, but we'll say Spirit. Okay? I trod them down in my wrath. Their blood spattered my garments, and I stained all my clothing. For the day of vengeance was in my heart, and the year of my redemption has come. What does his redemption mean? It's time for him to head upstairs, okay, to be bought back or purchased. Okay? Right, Ashara?
Right.
I looked, but there was no one to help. I was appalled that no one gave support. Okay, this is wide feet. So my own arm worked salvation for me, and my own wrath sustained me. I trampled the nations in my anger. In my wrath, I made them drunk and poured their blood on the ground. Okay? Okay. He tore the biatches apart. Okay? He took their lunch money, and he took all their stuff. All their spirit. Okay? And we're going to re-verify that. Okay? Okay?
It's funny they call it a wine press instead of a grape press.
Right. Yeah, I understand. He calls it a wine press. Okay? So, anyways, let's go to Daniel 10:11. Okay? Hosea, Daniel 10:11. Story of Gabriel. Okay? Gabriel was Michael's right hand. Okay? Okay? And all of you hopefully know the story of Daniel. Okay? When Gabriel comes to him. Okay? Right? And Gabriel talks to him and says, your words have been heard, Daniel. I have come in response to them. But the prince of the Persian kingdom resisted me 21 days. This is Gabriel. Okay? Then Michael, the chief prince, came to help me because I was detained there with the king of Persia. What was he doing with the king or god of Persia, Andrea?
He was fighting him, trying to get the spirit out.
Okay, good. Okay. Good. Yeah, he wasn't having lunch with them. They weren't drinking tea.
They were battling.
Having tea. They were having high tea.
Look, they're shit. Okay? Okay? And then he talks again. Gabriel continues, do you know why I have come to you? Since I will return to fight against the prince of Persia. Okay, what are they, shooting arrows at each other? No. Okay? He's going to take the spirit from the Persian kingdom. And when I go there, the prince of Greece will come. But first, I will tell you what is written in the book of truth. A book, a Sefer HaEmet. Okay? No one supports me against them except Michael, your prince. And the first year of Darius the Mede, I took my stand to support and protect him. Gabriel, which actually Hebrew means Gezer-el, mighty of God, not strength of God, was Michael's right arm. Okay? All right. Let's go to verse 20. I already got verse 20 tonight. Yep. Okay. So let's go to, here we go. Okay. At that time, Michael said, the time for my redemption is coming. Did he not, Ashara?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what, Shawn?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. I just want to make that correctly. Okay, I just read it to you. The time for my redemption is at hand. Okay? And here it goes. At that time, Michael, the great prince who protects your people, will arise. Does that mean he's going to stand up and get out of his chair, Siriliel?
Yes.
No. He will arise. He ain't getting out of his chair. He's going to ascend. Okay?
Rise and night.
Your people, everyone whose name is found written in the book, will be delivered. Multitudes who sleep in the dust of the earth will awake. Some to everlasting life. Others to shame and everlasting contempt. Those who are wise will shine like the brightness of the heavens, and those who lead many to righteousness like the stars forever and ever. This is the promise. What is a star, Ashara?
An angel.
It will become angels. Okay? And then he asks, my Lord, what will be the outcome of all this? Here's what he says. Many will be purified, made spotless and refined. The wicked will continue to be wicked. None of them who are not wise will not understand. Okay? But at the end of your days, Daniel, you will rise to receive your allotted inheritance, which is to be a member of the kingdom of heaven. Okay? Okay, so understand this. All the material that Michael took from the nations, okay, was dumped into the astral. Okay? Right? Okay, we already know the Hebrews expanded it 400%, okay, both in size and quality of the material. The 71 gods of the nation, Michael took everything they had, okay, and that was dumped into the astral. So at this time, okay, this served two purposes. To be filled with the Holy Spirit, okay, the Israelites had to entrust, right, Ashara?
Yes.
Okay, but the heathens had to be empty, didn't they? Yes. They didn't need to entrust, did they? Because Michael took it from them. In the next show, we're going to talk about how they had nothing. We know, I've proved to you, that they carried spirit, and they solicited Israel. But I'll read to you what Paul says about them at the time of the Christ. They had nothing. No God, no Christ, no nothing. Okay. So remember, everything was dumped into the astral realm. Okay? Right? And it's mixed with the spirit of Israel and refinement. So essentially, you right now have got about 500 proof vodka. Nuclear grade uranium, 0.999 fine silver. Do you understand that, Siriliel?
Yes, it's been like refining. It's better material now.
It is. Okay. Each incarnation it gets better and it gets larger. So this new material can be placed into anybody. Okay, it can be placed into the heathens, the nations, and it can be placed into the bodies of women, and all second-born women, when instead of a large piece of conscious spirit, aka raw grain, okay, which is hard to place into anything and remain for lanes, we can now place a small microscopic soul or seed within the body. Okay, as the Creator said, all would serve me, all would carry His spirit. Okay, but He had to get it before He could give it out, didn't He? Ashara?
Yes, yes.
I'm sorry, what, Shawn?
Yeah.
No, I'm calling Ashara Shawn because she's going, yes, 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 we can.
Okay, I'll do my Ashara, yes.
Understand. Sorry, one more time?
Yes.
There we go. We can hear you. Right? Oh, man! Okay. But everything was in Lucifer. The astral is in Lucifer. Okay? Right? It's below the wall. Okay? There's only one thing left to do. Okay? Right? Well, let's talk about this. I already read you Daniel 20. At that time, Michael, the great prince, will arise. Okay? Let's read from the Dead Sea Scrolls. Okay? The sons of light versus the sons of darkness. I just need to find it because I got so many things in the other Bible here. Good job. Not that one. You're kidding me, right? Okay. No. Nope. Nope. Here it is. Okay, ready? This is what the Dead Sea Scroll says. Okay? Today is His appointed time to lay low and to make fall the prince of the dominion of wickedness. Who might that be, Ashara?
Lucifer.
And He will send eternal help to the lot He has redeemed by the power of the angel He has made glorious for rule. Michael, in eternal light, to give light and joy to all Israel, peace and blessing to the lot of God, to exalt among the gods the rule of Michael and the dominion of Israel over all flesh. Ashara, in a voice that I can hear, what did God say makes Michael?
He would make Michael the God of the universe, and all Israel, every flesh body would have the spirit of Israel in it.
Yep. Okay. From the Dead Sea Scrolls, not adulterated, not messed with, okay, not anything. It didn't come into being until 1956. Okay? And the conclusion will be next week. And guess what's coming, Siriliel?
The battle of Michael and Lucifer.
Michael versus Lucifer.
Wow.
Okay? This is the end battle and story. Again, if you go into 1 John, Christ came, right, to destroy the works of Lucifer. The works are his, right, Ashara?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to talk about the battle, how it played out, how Israel entrusted, okay? Okay, and then we'll talk about the quality of the new soul. It was a great show, people. I want to thank everybody, especially Alvin, for her great
Thank you.
Alvin.
Alvin, I listen.
Tiny soul.
Yes, I'm here.
I want to thank Coco and, of course, John Clark. Okay? We love all of you. Remember,
Love you too.
You love even my tired, distracted little self?
That's
Hey, proud of you.
wherever you are. Okay,
Wherever
guys,
you
I
are.
love you. 2 seconds. Michael versus Lucifer. This is going to be awesome. Are we off?
Oh, yeah.
We are